Let's go ahead and get started. If everybody would please be so kind as to mute yourself. You will have the ability to unmute again when we get to the end and you ask Julia any questions that you have. But right now, we're going to go ahead and make sure we are recording and we're going to get started. So welcome to the Stage of Marketing Holiday Masterclass for 2020. With the insane year that we've all had collectively, the fact that you're here really means that you've weathered the storm and are still willing to invest in yourself. And I don't take lightly that you are here and spending your valuable time working towards your personal success with us today. I want you to know that just being here and committing to learning more about how to market your business through video, you are currently or will soon be at the top of your industry. And I know this because study after study has shown that the personal attribute of grit, and by that I mean people who keep pushing through adversity, come out on top. And grit is the single biggest determining factor when it comes to success. And by investing your time with us tonight and in the wake of this ridiculous year that we've all shared, you already possess grit. So congratulations, and I'm happy to have you. Hold one second while we work through this tech issue. Okay, here we go. Don't know what that was, but that's tech. So the majority of you in the masterclass know who I am and you know my background. But what I'd like to do is lay it out in terms of what I would look like to you as a buyer or a listing client. So let's start here. I'm Beth, and I'm the owner of Stager Marketing, and I am your perfect client. I'm a successful business person with a career in healthcare, entrepreneurship, and real estate. And you want me as your buyer because I am decisive and I know exactly what I'm looking for. I won't waste your time because in doing so, I'd be wasting my own time. And that's just bad for both of us. I'll tell you what matters to me before you even show me the first home or land listing. I also come pre-qualified with loan documentation, or I'll pay cash. I'm the name and number that you keep in your digital Rolodex under looking for a great deal, can close quickly. And I know this sounds like a fairy tale to some of you, and it may not at all be your average client and what they look like. So why is this information about me so important to you if your clients don't shape up like this? The answer to the question is that it matters because the best marketing advice you can get is always from a professional marketer who also happens to be your ideal customer, and that is me. So let me talk a bit about why you're here. We all know that video marketing for real estate professionals is becoming mandatory if you want to promote your brand.
On winter time.
Yep.
Yes.
Can we get a mute? Would you mind muting for us, please? Thank you. But do you know why video marketing is mandatory? In part, it's because your ideal client has a very short attention span. Gone are the days when you could expect someone to open your email of 3 pages and read every word. Today, your typical email recipient needs to be captured within the first 240 characters. And that's why the emails that we create at Stager Marketing are short and to the point and subsequently very high converting. So if you can't get your customers to read your emails that contain all of your amazing listings, how will you know if you have something they want? And that's where video marketing comes into the conversation. So let's talk about the rule of 8s. If an eye-catching video can snag a viewer in the first 8 seconds, they'll most likely watch at least 50% of the video, if not more. And that's what our analytics have told us over and over again. You have just 8 seconds to capture your client's short attention span before they move on to something else. And if you are in the luxury market, the 5-6 million or above market, you have even less time than that, because highly successful buyers covet their time and won't waste it browsing through videos, even a few seconds of videos. So it becomes very important that you give your customers what they want quickly, so that you get an opportunity to speak to them about everything you have to offer. You can't do that with a long drawn out email or phone call. Short attention spans plus crazy busy lives equal very little available time for you and what you do. And with that said, we also know that home buyers and sellers are much more likely to watch videos, open emails, and look at social media accounts after 8 p.m. So the second piece of the rule of eights. It's rather counterintuitive to think that the time of day when your clients are the most interested in what you have to share with them is the time when making business calls is inappropriate, if you will. This is the second reason why video can close the gap in how you communicate with your clients. So making your videos permanently available on your website or your social account, your Facebook, your Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, well, those are the top 4 social platforms. That will allow you to engage with your clients after hours. And that is incredibly important, because after 8 p.m. it is also downtime that your clients have to discuss your listings with their significant others. So getting a chance to review your listings in the privacy of their own home with stunning and professional looking videography just might be the tipping point that determines whether or not you get the call the next morning. And now that we know exactly why videos matter so much in the business of real estate, let's get to the reason why you're all here: to learn how to shoot a professional video using no more than your smartphone. So welcome to the Stage Your Marketing Holiday Masterclass. Before we bring on our senior videographer, Julia, I'd like to set the stage for what you'll be learning in this masterclass. First, you'll learn how to save thousands of dollars a year on professional video by shooting those videos yourself. Then Julia will go into detail about the most effective way to use recording equipment you already own to take these breathtaking videos. Next, she'll dive into the granular elements: the best time of day to shoot, the angles that provide the best video, the timing of each shot, and a whole lot more. Now, for the sake of full disclosure, I wanted to let you know that we do have a special 2020 Done For You holiday bundle that I'll be telling you about towards the end of the class. It will tie your video editing and production together with your email marketing and Instagram growth. You are under no obligation to purchase, but if the Done For You bundle resonates with you and you feel that you may benefit from getting support in 2021 with your video production, emails, and social media account, I would highly encourage you to commit another 10 minutes at the end of the masterclass. We've never bundled and discounted anything like this before, and after the year we've all had, I think we can all use a crazy good Done For You bundle. So that'll be at the end of the class if you want to stay and listen. So now, before I open the floor for Julia's part of the masterclass, I want you to know who you'll be learning from and why we consider ourselves so lucky to have Julia on our team now. You see, Julia is a sports videographer by training. She works with ESPN, the NCAA, MLB Network, and ABC. And in addition to her weekly gigs with ESPN for college football and basketball, as well as Major League Baseball, Julia has worked on the field for the MLB Championship Series and the World Series. Why do I share all this sports videography experience that Julia has? It's because there is nothing more difficult to shoot and produce than sports. If you can shoot and produce sports, everything else is a piece of cake. We would never have been able to snag such a high quality video professional if it wasn't for sports slowing down with COVID. It opened up time on our calendar and we were there to fill it all in. And it doesn't hurt that one of Julia's favorite things is architecture and capturing it on film. At the end of the masterclass tonight, Julia will be back on for a live Q&A. So take notes and get those questions ready. will let you know when to drop them into the chat. So now, without further ado, I am going to take myself off of the screen and turn it over to Julia, the senior video editor and producer at Stage Your Marketing.
Hi guys. So essentially we're going to talk about a couple topics. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. So essentially we're going to talk about a couple topics. We're going to talk about how to save money on equipment and when to shoot real estate videos, what time of day, what shots you're looking for throughout the day, angle variety so that you're not just shooting the entire video from one angle, editing software. Although it's a lengthy process and kind of a learning curve, there are some free versions that you can endeavor if you want to set aside the time. Although the reason that you're here is that you don't have that time, and that's what we're here for. But I will talk briefly about the processes of editing and how to do that. And then we'll wrap up with some angles for shooting that are best and most commonly seen around the real estate videography landscape. So there are two ways to shoot real estate videos. You can shoot a walkthrough or you can shoot more cinematic. So a walkthrough is essentially just going through each room of the house, every bedroom, every bathroom, large places like living rooms, dining rooms, kitchens, and showing a grand scale, a very broad view of the house. It doesn't take very long. It's not very in-depth. It just shows the bare minimum. And then cinematic videos they take longer, first of all, because you're going more in depth on things like appliances or different angles of the room or the views outside that you're seeing. They also include a lot of pans, which I'll talk about. There are zooms, and they're all, although it seems daunting, they're all very able to be recorded on an iPhone. So before I go any further, I want you guys to probably take some notes because I'm going to tell you a lot of different just tricks of the trade that I've learned and picked up throughout the years. And then I'm also going to want you to get your phones out because I'm going to help you set them up so that you can shoot from the phone that you have in your hand an awesome 4K video. So I usually shoot on a camera and lens setup that's about $5,000, which is ridiculous for just an iPhone, but I have an entire camera body and I have a lens and it shoots amazing footage. But if you know how to do it well, you can also shoot the same footage on an iPhone. I have an iPhone 10 and it shoots in 4K. So every iPhone after the 6S has the capability to shoot in 4K. And there are Samsung phones that can shoot in 4K as well, but I find it a lot easier to shoot on an Apple product because then it's easier to edit and it transfers a lot easier to other devices. So we're also going to talk about frames per second. So when you shoot in 4K, you're shooting at 60 frames per second, and that just means that the dimensions of your video are much clearer and they're also able to be slowed down without being grainy. The worst thing you want in a real estate video is that you're going amazingly fine, everything is great, everything's beautiful, and you get to the living room and suddenly you have an out of focus shot. It looks terrible. And although it may only be a couple seconds of shot, it makes the video look terrible. So that can all be alleviated if you just shoot everything on your phone at a 4K setup at 60 frames per second. So we're gonna walk through that right now. So if you go into your phone and into your settings, I want to make sure that everyone's with me because this is kind of a labyrinth process. So if you go into your phone and you go to settings and you search camera, the camera icon, you can't see it. The camera icon, if you click on that, you'll see it'll take you to a screen that says formats, and you see it? There we go. Yeah, so it'll say camera, and at the top it'll say formats. And I already have mine set to 4K at 60 frames per second. So if you click on the formats, your options are high efficiency and most compatible. Make sure that high efficiency is the one that's clicked. And then backtrack to where it says formats, and underneath formats, it'll say record video. And when you click that, you have a lot of options, but you want to make sure that 4K at 60 frames per second is clicked. It works. Did someone say something? Did you have a question?
I've been trying to interrupt you. You're going so fast. I didn't even get into my settings yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Hold on.
So settings, and then camera.
Yeah, so just if you could go a little bit slower and just check that everybody's with you before
Yeah,
you keep going.
I wanted to take a second to stop so that everyone was on the same page for this, because I want to make sure that if you get nothing else from my speech right now, you're making sure that your phone is in 4K. Are you good?
So every step, if you could just check people are with you, because
Yeah,
you went
absolutely.
along, it took me 3 minutes to get you to hear me to stop. So I've done settings, camera. So where now?
Yes. So settings, camera. Let me walk you through. Settings, camera, and then you're at another menu that says, it starts with formats, and then under that it says record video.
So what are you asking us to click on? Which one?
Formats. Click on formats, and then it'll take you to another screen that says camera capture, and your options are high efficiency or most compatible. In this scenario, you want high efficiency selected.
Yeah, mine's a Google phone, so I went to settings. I could not readily find camera. I don't know under which section I tried.
Yeah, so if you're looking at your settings, you have a block that starts with airplane mode. You have a block that starts with notifications. You have a block that starts with general. You have a block that starts with app store. You have a block that starts with passwords. And then you have a block under that starts with music. Within the music block, there's music, photos, and camera is under that.
It's not under settings, right?
It is under settings. So like if you go, so you click the settings, you can't see what I'm doing, but if you click your settings app and then you scroll down.
I think he has an Android phone.
I have a Google, Android phone. It's not an iPhone.
Yeah, on camera on an Android, I have a Samsung Galaxy.
Okay.
When you select your camera icon, there's that little gear thing that you select that you can pick up all of your settings. And the first thing I get is camera setting, intelligent features, pictures, and then videos are at the bottom. And it gives you rear video, front video, pro video, advanced recording options. And it does, if you select advanced recording options, two options come up, the high efficiency video and the HDR10 plus video.
Yep, so you'll want high efficiency selected on your device as well.
Okay.
It'll work the same, although it's not exactly the same way to get there.
Right. It's just a lot of the Galaxy and the Android phones kind of, yeah, my daughter and son are the millennial people and they do the Apple stuff. I don't.
Yeah,
I guess old school people.
It's a lot easier to do on an Apple device because everything is compatible. I mean, I work entirely on Apple because that's where the processing speed for video editing is quicker. I don't know exactly how to operate Samsung devices, but when we're talking about video quality, it's the same across the board. So as long as you have high efficiency clicked, that's basically what you need to, you're essentially where you need to be.
So, Julia, you say at least you need the iPhone 10, right?
You
cannot.
Anything after an iPhone 6s has the capabilities to shoot in 4K.
Okay, I have the old phone. I need new. Mine is iPhone 6s Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be able to shoot in 4K.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, I just tried to open my camera itself. In videos, it has slow motion, normal, and time lapse. And
Normal. Yeah, you'll want it set to normal.
that's all I need, right? I think
Yeah.
that'll. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And
and that's another good point. So when you're shooting, when you're looking at a real estate video, you will see video clips that are in slow motion. You don't want to shoot those in slow motion though. You want to shoot them at a normal speed so that you don't jeopardize your video quality. When you shoot in a slow-mo version, so you said that you have your regular settings, you have a time lapse, and you have slow-mo. If you shoot in slow-mo, it's way more difficult to speed that video up than to slow down a normal speed video.
Okay.
And so that will also, it'll make your video footage, if you do try to speed that up, grainier. So I would suggest shooting every single video clip in regular.
that should cover it. Probably the Android devices, they have less probably menu items here for settings, which already by default, I think they come with a lot of advanced settings. So
it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot easier to navigate through an Apple device because everything is very dumbed down and right in front of your face.
So it should already be there. I'll try to find the high def. You said we'll have to get the high definition, right?
Yeah. Yep. It'll be either high definition or high efficiency.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean anything to you guys because you aren't on the editing side, but when you're editing high efficiency video, the actual clip is compressed, so it takes up less of your memory on your phone.
Yep, got it.
Does anyone else have any questions before we move on? I'm going to take that as a no. All right, so for my Apple people, you're going to go to camera, go to formats, high efficiency, and then back out of camera, back to the formats menu. And under that, it'll say record video. You have a lot of options. You have 720p, 1080p, and then 4K at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. You want to have 4K at 60 FPS checked. Have I lost anyone? Is everyone on the same page before I go forward? Okay, cool. Great, Jennifer. So I was talking about the frames per second. There are a lot of different frames per second that your phone and a regular big bulky camera can shoot in. It all just depends on if you're slowing down the footage for any reason. Like a lot of real estate videos will have slowed down images. So you may come around a corner and suddenly you see the kitchen and it's slowed down and it's beautiful and you can see all the appliances all shiny and amazing, but it's not always necessary. So it's nice to have that ability to shoot in higher quality, but it's not always needed. I always err on the side of shooting at the highest quality possible because it without a doubt produces higher quality videos. And in the industry that I'm in, higher quality is a must, but it's not a necessity in other industries. So, sorry, I'm trying to, can everyone else mute themselves? So, unless you have a question, please. It would just be helpful to me. So if you're nervous about shooting your video with a camera, you're nervous about maybe your hand shaking or the video footage not being clear enough or not being level. Those are all issues that we're going to talk through today. So I have an easy way to make sure that your video footage is level. First of all, before we go any further, no one shoots in vertical. It's infuriating to shoot a real estate video vertically because, first of all, you can't see the whole room. You know, you have to turn the camera. Always shoot your videos in landscape mode. That is crucial to the process. It also results in wider lenses so you can see the entire room, and everything is crisper as well. And it's also easier to move the camera. So when we're talking about ways to steady your shots, there's a device called a gimbal. It's basically a stabilizer. So it has a place that you put your phone, and it holds the phone like this. And then you hold a pole underneath. And that way, the part in which it holds your phone is actually the mechanism that tips. So even if you're like down here wiggling the pole, it'll neutralize that movement on your phone so that your phone still shoots in a very clear, even shot. Those do range from $70 to $130-ish. So it's a good investment, but if you're willing to not do that, you can also get a similar effect by just stabilizing with your hands. If you are interested in a gimbal, I have a couple good brands. Here, Rachel. Yes, so Rachel, it's called a gimbal, and there are a lot of them on the market for smartphones, but I messaged you back with one that I've seen a lot used, and it's rather reliable if you're looking for that. But without a gimbal, I'm going to teach you right now how to shoot and make it look steady without any kind of third-party stabilizer. So you have your phone, you're shooting right here. You have 4 points of contact with your hands. Do not shoot with one hand. Camera settings have stability mode, but does this work on video? Dreama, I wouldn't count on it. I would rather you just know how to stabilize the phone itself than try to rely on the inner workings of the camera, just because you can control what you can control, and if your stability mode doesn't work, or if it's not working as well as you hope it would, you still have a backup of your natural talent. So you're holding your phone like this. You want your hands on the top and your hands on the bottom. You don't want to be holding from a 4-point. You want all of your fingers touching the camera. So that way you have less of an ability to move it in a jerky motion, and you can keep it still like this. And then in order to walk without moving your camera up or around, we do what's called a ninja walk. You want to make sure that your feet are walking heel toe. So you're not really moving your core, you're only moving your legs forward. So then your camera, which is being held up by your torso, is not actually moving. You're only moving what's below your waist. And that results in a better stability from your torso up. It also, in case you trip or bump into something, you won't see that stability vary as well. And then the ninja walk is not really as complex as it sounds. Imagine you're trying to win a race by walking. You would go heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. You wouldn't go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. It's a different way of stabilizing that you're in charge of, you're in control of. And you also, as you're doing those heel toe ninja walk movements, you want to keep that constant. You don't want to move one foot, pause, and then move the other, because your camera movement is going to jar right in the middle, and you won't be able to use that clip because it's not going to look any good. And you can also, I would suggest while you're shooting to hold every single shot for 5 to 7 seconds. So that's enough time to take in the focus of the room, make sure that you have shown the expanse of the room, moving half of body only. Yes, yes. So just make sure that you stay as still as you possibly can. When I'm shooting sports, I have an enormous camera on my shoulder, and in order to not make that move, I actually hold my breath. You can try that if you want. I mean, it's way lighter to hold an iPhone than a 25-pound camera, but it's the same process, you know? You're still trying to get as stable a shot as possible. And then I said 5 to 7 seconds per shot. That's not what the video will end up being. Cinematic videos move a lot quicker, but if you're talking about a regular walkthrough video, that's basically all you need. You just need the main points of the house, all the bedrooms, all the bathrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen. If there's a pool, you want the pool. Make sure that every single part of the house that is unique about it is featured. If that's an entire kitchen renovation, make sure that that's documented. If there's a massive pool, if there are lights outside, if the exterior lights are going all the way down the expanse of one side, you want that. In cinematic videos, it's a lot easier to shoot because you're not only looking for the big stuff, but you're also looking for smaller stuff like sinks that are interesting, or bathtubs that are custom countertops, things like pools that light up when the sun goes down. You're looking for really cool selling points of the house that you wouldn't necessarily see in a regular walkthrough video. And that's why personally I like shooting cinematic videos better, because it has the ability to show off the house on a deeper level. Is everyone with me? Okay, so we're going to move on. When I talk about shooting real estate, there are a lot of times of day that work best for real estate videos, but there are a couple things that you absolutely do not want to do. One of them is called blowing out the windows. So blowing out the windows means that you're shooting during a very, very bright part of the day, and you're either using artificial light, like the lights in a room, or you're using natural light. And regardless, if you're shooting the focus of a room, so say we're in a living room and you're shooting the huge TV and the nice layout of all the couches, and your living room is beautifully lit, but the windows on the side of your room are totally white. That means that your focus is off. So on a phone, the focus is really easy to correct and make sure that you never have white blown out windows. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at a real estate video and you see a blown out window, it really kind of delegitimizes the video because it doesn't show the view out of the window. So if you're in a living room, you don't look outside your window and see white, you see a beautiful view. And so if you're looking at a video of a living room in a home, you don't want to see white windows because if you move in there, that's not the view you're getting from the living room. But that's easy to change just by clicking on the actual camera screen. So like if I'm looking at my camera, all I have to do while I'm recording is click the screen somewhere and it'll auto focus, because all of your phones are already set to autofocus. So it's easy to color correct those rooms that may be a little darker, or make sure that your windows aren't blown out in large, spacious rooms with lots of natural light. But another way to just avoid blowing out windows altogether is to shoot during cloud cover, because nothing is too bright and nothing is too dark. It's also helpful to shoot either during golden hour or twilight, because in a house with lots of windows, you'll be able to see the house from a different viewpoint. It'll make the house look shinier and the colors more vibrant, and it's great, but we'll go more into that later. So
blowing out windows meant. Sorry, I missed the blowout window. What that meant?
yeah, so blowing out windows is just when you have a shot and your windows are totally white. So I wish I had an example for you right now, but say you have a living room and you have this beautiful expanse. There's a fireplace and a TV and lots of natural light, but you can't see out of the windows because they're totally white, because the sun is coming in and your phone is focused on the wrong place in the room. So it's not focused on the light from those windows. It's focused on some other point in the room. So what you want to do to correct that is to click on the screen somewhere between those windows and the focus of the room. That way it auto focuses to a point that is right between. So it doesn't make your screen dark, but it also doesn't continue to blow out those super bright points in your room.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem.
You said take shots for like 5 to 7 seconds. So do we record one room 5 to 7 seconds and then stop recording and then go to the next room and take 5 to 7 seconds in the next room? Or is it a continuous recording?
No, they're individual clips. So I say 5 to 7 seconds per clip, because that way when you add it all up, you cut out immediately any time you're walking through a room. So you just end up with the clips that you're actually going to have used in a real estate video. If you send a videographer a 2-hour video where you're walking through the house, they're going to be very disappointed. So it's just way easier to shoot in 5 to 7 kind of bursts of video and then send it out to someone like us who can edit all of that together.
Got it.
Any other questions about blown out windows or shot timing? Nope. All right. So when we're talking about shooting a house, it's daunting because you have so much square footage, so many rooms to get through, so many focuses to capture, and it's difficult to figure out where to even begin. So you want to walk through the front door, but then where do you go? It's easier to start a house probably around sunrise and then end around golden hour. That's an entire day of shooting, but it will produce a gorgeous video. And I'll walk you through the exact video order in which you're going in and out of the house to record certain rooms and certain experiences about the house. So I say that you want to start shooting about 5 hours on the inside of the house, about 5 hours before golden hour. It's nice if you want sunrises, if you have a picturesque house to shoot at sunrise, but it's not necessary if your house is in a wooded area or if you're not seeing as much of that sunrise from the property. But I would say about 5 to 7 hours before the sun is completely gone. So you want, when you get on the property, this is really important for the integrity of your videos. So I'm going to go through this super slowly. Stop me if you have any questions, but this is integral to getting an awesome video. So you want, when you get on the property, you want to immediately spend about 10 minutes outside shooting the entire front facade. You want the sides, the back, if there are any interesting attributes like pools or 3, 4, 5, 6 car garages, you want all of that. If there's a nice wooded drive that comes in, you want to make sure that those 10 minutes spent outside are capturing what someone who is just coming to the property for the very first time is seeing. And even you can shoot it in that way. You can start at the very end of the drive and shoot all the way up until you even get to the house. And then as soon as you do that, you want to go inside and shoot all your main rooms from a wider angle. So you want to make sure that when you're talking about shots, you have wide angles, medium angles, and close-ups. What you're shooting initially are going to all be wide angles. So shots of the entire kitchen or shots of the entire living room, all the bedrooms, all the bathrooms, the important parts of the house want to be shot on a wide angle. I mean, it's a lot easier to just stand in the doorways of those rooms. So stand in a bedroom doorway and just shoot in than to walk past it and try to shoot it at a medium. But I would say just shoot everything from a very wide angle to begin with once you get inside. And then you want to go back outside once it starts getting a little bit dusky, not quite golden hour yet, but just making sure that you get all the outside from a variety of different natural light settings. As you want it as the sun begins to go down. And then if you have lights outside, exterior lights, pools that light up, anything that looks better in the dark, you want to save those exterior shots for the very last. You don't want to shoot them right in the middle of the day. And then you want to, as it is becoming darker, you want to go back inside and shoot with all the artificial lights on. You don't necessarily, some cinematic real estate videos have all the water spouts turned on. So you have your sinks turned on, you have your showers turned on. It's not really necessary, but that is a practice that a lot of real estate videographers will ask to have. It's not necessary though. But what you do need to have on is all of your artificial lights, all of your hall lights, all of your room lights need to be on, so that when you have no more natural light, you can see what the room looks like when the sun does go down. And then make sure that all of those rooms that you already shot from earlier in the day are shot again once the sun has gone down. And then, like I was saying, go back outside once it gets dark, not pitch black, but rather dark so that you can't see, and all of your, if you have lights that are lighting up a pathway, you want all of those to be on so you can show what the house looks like from the outside at night. Does anyone have any questions about the process of shooting a house?
So Julia, what you're trying to say is we need to do one shooting about 5 to 7 hours before the sunset, 10 minutes outside, and then spend time inside. And then once it starts getting dark, not really dark, so you turn on the lights inside the home and then shoot everything and come outside and shoot back again. Is
Yes.
that okay?
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
in
go
order
ahead.
to get the best angles and make your house look as beautiful as possible, you want to alternate going inside and outside based on where the sun is. And then Dreama, that's what's next on the agenda. So now you have all of your wide shots, all of your bedrooms, bathrooms, essential parts of the house shot. Now,
I'm sorry, quick question, if I may.
Hi.
So if the house is not very bright inside, you still shoot the initial interior photos without any artificial light. You only do that afterwards.
I mean, if you're working with a house that doesn't have a lot of natural light, I would have the artificial light turned on at all
Okay.
times.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I think it also makes the video look more just across the board together when your light is varying.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Dreama, if you have all of your wide shots shot, all of your rooms are done in bright light. Now you want to shoot, you want to be shooting medium and close-up shots while you still have natural light. So while this process of shooting your wide angles is happening, you also want to keep in mind things that you want closer shots of. So I like to err on the side of shooting all of the appliances close up. So if the kitchen is decked out with amazing stainless steel, you want to make sure that you have the brands indicated. You want to make sure that you have anything that is unique to the house, like custom countertops. You want to make sure that those are shot from a close-up angle or even a medium angle. Say that you have a new sink that's beautiful and polished. You want to shoot that at a medium angle because you don't need to see the close-up intricacies of the sink, but you want to make sure that you know that it's new. So a medium shot is somewhere between the entire room and just the handle of the sink. And that works well with rooms that aren't really that large, because if you use a wide shot on a room that's kind of smaller, it won't accentuate the room to the fullest potential. So you'll want to use a medium shot in that regard. And then close-ups are only really used when you're accentuating things like linens or countertops or pantry space, stuff like that. If you want to have like jets in your pool or a hot tub, those are all good for close-up shots. I hesitate to say that there are certain things you should use close-up shots for, because I don't know the houses that you're selling. But if you see something that's interesting, I would always get a close-up shot of it. That's not to say that it will always be used, but it's nice to have in case the videographer that's working on that video wants to include that. Are we good through this process?
Question. So are you actually taking individual shots or in segments and turning it on and off all the time? Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's best to just shoot segment by segment as opposed to one large video file, because it's easier to then edit down into a 1-minute video or an 8-minute video. For the most part, real estate videos are between 2 and 5 minutes. You will see some that are 8, 9, 12 minutes long, and you will see some that are more walkthrough based that are 1 minute, 45 seconds. If you have a larger house, though, it's rather impossible to get a cinematic video in a minute. So I would err on the side of 2 to 6-ish.
When you say wide angle, is it just without regular zoom in or zoom out?
Yeah.
And then close
Yeah.
up it.
So as wide as your camera on your phone will shoot is what I consider wide angle.
Okay. So if places like Seattle, where a lot of the times you don't get sunlight
Yeah.
during time, so it's hard to pick a time because sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's really dark through the day, sometimes it's really bright. So do you have any suggestions for us to adjust accordingly to the light conditions?
Yeah, it's really just turning all of your room lights on, and then making sure that you shoot on a day that isn't raining as much or isn't as overcast, because if you have natural light that's coming in, you don't want those lights, that light coming in, to be gray. You know, you don't want it to be raining outside. And I know that it's difficult in Seattle, but it produces a brighter video, a more vibrant video, if you have light coming in that's not gray or brown and not super bright.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so in an event that your natural light is not very bright, I would have every single possible artificial light in your house turned on. And some videographers will actually bring in lights that they'll set up and shoot from behind, so you have an additional light that is incredibly artificial that also serves to brighten up the space, but it's not necessary.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. And then when you're shooting angles, I was talking about wide, medium, and close-up shots. You need to make sure that you're shooting between eye and waist level, so around your chest, so you have easy stability. And then you need to make sure, I was talking about this earlier, but when you're looking into a room, make sure that you start outside of the doorway, inside in the hallway, and then walk through into the room as if you were living there and walking through a doorway. It seems difficult when you're putting all of this together, but you have to remember that the point of these individual video clips is to make it look like you're walking through a house. So you're not jumping from door to door, you're walking through the doorway. You're making sure that it's clean and clear, and as if you were just going into your bedroom. And that can be achieved, that kind of turn in can be achieved by a video technique called parallax, Parallax. So that essentially means that you are pivoting your phone on a point, and it serves to not only create a larger room, because you're not only showing one viewpoint, you're actually moving your phone based on one pivot point. So your phone is starting like this, and it may go back. So my right hand has not moved, but my left hand has moved. And it originated in the army, actually, but that's irrelevant. The point remains that if you put your finger out in front of you and you move your head, you'll be able to see different parts of your finger. This is the object of parallax, because you're enabling the viewer to see more of the room just based on where you're shooting. Even if you're not actually moving, you're just kind of tilting. And that's an easy way also to enlarge rooms, because you're not showing just one angle. You're showing a slide. you'll be able to capture the entire room in one shot, because you're showing from all the way on the left to all the way on the right. It's a little trick that's easy to make a room look bigger. And then when you're shooting, you just always want to continue to walk forward. You don't want to walk backward through a room, because then you'll end up kind of looking backward and up, and that's the worst thing. You want to make sure that you're always walking forward through a room, through a hallway, through a house, because that's the normal movement that you would make if you were living there. Is everyone with me? Just give me a yes in the comments in the chat if you are, because that was a hefty load of learning right there.
So the parallax is used while we are shooting
Yes.
to get a view of different parts of the room.
Yeah, so it's just a way to make the room look larger by using angles.
Oh, got it.
Hey Vish, what I did was actually sat here and did it myself, and then I got it. It was like, oh look, when I just move one hand forward and then back to the middle and one hand back, you can actually see where the camera would go and what it would do. It's kind of cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great technique that even if you're working with larger rooms, it serves to make the room look even more expansive. And then we've talked about vertical movement. What if you have an entire living room that is tall? You want to shoot starting up and moving down. You don't want to shoot from down to up, because then you end up staring at the ceiling and your video clip will cut off abruptly and it doesn't look any good. So if you have say you have a chimney that is, or an amazing fireplace that's all stone, you want to start at the very top of the ceiling and work your way down that fireplace until you get to wherever the rest of the living room is, you know. The same works with balconies. If you have some kind of balcony in your home that maybe looks out over the living room or the kitchen, it's nice to dip and then come up and shoot over the balcony so that it looks like you're actually looking down over onto wherever the balcony looks over. And that also serves to make the space look larger. A lot of these techniques just make the spaces look bigger, because if you're looking for a house, you don't want to move into a shoebox. Even if the house isn't very large square footage wise, you want, as the videographer, to make it look as large and as enchanting of an escape as possible. And then I was talking about naturally walking through the home, making note of things like appliances that are unique to the home or updated. And then I wanted to say that although I said 5 to 7 shots per, or 5 to 7 seconds per shot, I want to add on to that and say that per bedroom and per bathroom, I would say 2 shots per bedroom. So maybe a wide shot and a close-up shot of the linens or the pillows, or a wide shot of the room as a whole, and then a medium shot of the bed or some kind of lounge area, or even the entrance to the bathroom if it's a historic home and you have a nice archway leading into the bathroom. That the first wide shot is just a generic, here's the bedroom shot. And then the second shot can be something that is more unique to the room itself. And the same works with bathrooms, a wide shot and then maybe a shot of the vanity or the view outside, if the bathroom has a window, or the I don't know, just something in the bathroom that's of interest that's not the entire wide angle. A lot of the videos that I've shot have accentuated the tub, but it's not a necessity. If the tub is not as interesting as, say, the vanity, then shoot the vanity. It's really up to you as you go through, and that's how it's fun to put your little personal touches on a video like this. And then another thing that's worth noting, I've kind of harped on turning all the artificial lights on, but it's not necessary to show them. You don't have to show me every single wall light or every single light in the house, unless they're cool chandeliers. I had a house that had an amazing, beautiful chandelier over the dining room table, and there's an entire shot that goes all the way down the chandelier. And it's stuff like that that makes the house pop. You know, they're personal touches that are not only in the house, but also showcased on a video. Is everyone with me? Put a yes in the chat if you are. I just want to make sure that all of the answers to your questions, I'm moving forward. Okay, good. Yay. And I'll answer more questions at the end so that we can keep this rolling. Okay, and I'm going to wrap up by talking you through a little bit of the angles that you'll look for when you're shooting. So you want an establishing shot. So this is mostly meant to be outside. Because you don't have a fancy drone that's going to get you an aerial shot of the entire house, you want to make the front facade look as gorgeous as possible. And you can do that by doing a reveal. So that means that you could start your phone from behind a tree and then slowly reveal the house from behind the tree. Or if you have something like you're coming up the block and suddenly you see the house right in front of you. Or if you're coming up the any kind of archway that you're going through to get to the house is a great kind of establishing shot. And these shots specifically will go at the very beginning of your video to showcase the house when you first drive up. So you want something that showcases what you first see when you look at the curb appeal of the entire house. And then I was talking about room establishing shots, how you want them to be a wide angle and then either a medium or a close-up shot. And that part's totally up to you. So when you are going through these doorways, you want to actually tilt the phone down a little bit. So you're going through the doorway, you're coming down the hall, coming in the doorway, and you want to come up a little bit and then tilt down to get a wide sweeping shot of the room itself. So it's not just stagnant of the room like a picture would be. And then if you have a nice island, you want to accentuate that by doing what we call a room slider shot. So you can stabilize your phone by placing it on the island and just dragging your phone across the island, because it not only stabilizes the shot by using the island as kind of a tripod, but it also creates a nice sweeping shot of the kitchen. And then to wrap up, I'm going to teach you guys what a speed ramp is. So I've already talked about the fact that a lot of video footage in real estate is slowed down. There are also video footage that is sped up. So if you're walking down a hallway that is expansive, you don't want to walk step by step down the hallway. You want to take a couple steps and then speed through it. That's called a speed ramp. And that's more on the editing side, but the fact remains that those shots that are sped up are all shot in regular mode. They're not shot in time lapse, they're not shot in slow-mo, they're actually shot in the way that you would shoot everything else. And then you can just tell the videographer, hey, I want this part sped up, because it just takes up less time when you speed up a hallway like that. Do we need to do anything with our sound settings? No, Patrick, because the majority of times there will be no natural sound on a real estate video. It will just be either the agent with a voiceover track talking about the house, or it will be music in the background. Yeah, sound settings are not really necessary in real estate videos because the majority of natural sound is actually cut out in the editing process. And then, do we need? Yeah, no problem. And then that is, I said it depends on the length of the hallway, but speed ramps are normally cutting down the length of the hallway to about 1.5 seconds. So it speeds up the rate at which you get through the house.
Can you explain that again, Julia, how to do a speed ramp?
Yeah, so on your side, it doesn't really require anything. You just need to walk down the entire hallway and then turn into a room.
Okay.
So that way, when the editor comes in, they can speed that up so they don't see every single step you're taking to get into the room. It looks better and it takes less time away from other parts of the house. When you're editing a full video, you may only have 3 minutes, and if that takes up 15 seconds for you to get down the hallway, that's 15 seconds that you're not spending showcasing another part of the house.
Yep. I was not sure if it's a part of editing or we need to do something. I got it. Yeah,
nope, it's on my side. I just wanted to make you guys familiar with that kind of terminology.
Yep.
Because that's something that's pretty standard in real estate videos, regardless of whether you're doing a standard walkthrough or a more cinematic shoot. But with the techniques that you guys have tonight that you've learned, you can all do a cinematic shoot, because I've taught you what to look for, what kind of shots you need, and then also just what kind of shots to look for. It's nice, before I do a shoot, this is just another rule of thumb, I do a shot list. So I go through every room and I say, okay, this vanity is cool, this bed is nice, the fireplace needs to be shot. And that way, when I actually go in on shoot day, I know exactly what I'm going for, what I need to capture. And with that, I think we're done here. I'm going to give it back to Elizabeth.
Hey, can everybody hear me? Thumbs up?
Yep.
Yep, you got. So how great is she? I mean, she knows so much about so much, and it's not just about real estate. It's also about perspective and the way architecture shows best. She's fantastic, and we're so lucky to have her. So let me just adjust myself a little bit.
Guys,
So I'm going to go to share my screen. Thank you, Julia. Now, Julia will be back again at the end of this. But I want to take just a few minutes because I told you that I was going to tell you about something really special that we have. And now that you know what you need to do to shoot your perfect videos that convert your listings into sales, and also how to create those perfect videos that will brand you and your real estate business so that your clients seek you out and you stop having to cold prospect, I want to show you what's next. Our job here at Stager Marketing is to make your job easier. It's to support you. And as I mentioned earlier, I was going to tell you about our 2020 holiday bundle. So let me start by saying that what I have to offer you will save you over $10,000 in marketing costs for the year of 2021. And that is not an exaggeration. It may be an understatement. Imagine what an extra $10,000 could do. It would be crazy. For some of you, it's 6 or 7 mortgage payments. It's an insane amount of money that was built into this holiday bundle. And however you manage your budget, whether you'd use the extra money for a trip or for your mortgage payments, however you manage it, the savings is enormous. It also, in addition to finances, it saves you over 260 hours of precious time over the course of the next year. And that is on average about 6 hours of free time you'll build back into 2020 just by staying on this training and giving me another 10 minutes of your time. I think that's a great swap. 10 minutes for 6 weeks and about 10 grand. So here we go. As many of you know, Stage Your Marketing was born of the creative idea to provide elegant and high converting written, social, and video assets for real estate agents and brokers. We don't teach you how to do it yourself. Of course, Julia taught you how to shoot the videos yourself, but after that point, we do it for you. It's not a situation where we want to bring you in and teach you everything. It's a complete done for you in terms of your social, your video assets, and also your written assets for 2021. That's what sets us apart, we believe, from other businesses that teach you strategy and expect you to implement it on your own. So everything we do is done for you. We do all the researching, writing, editing, and producing, and all you have to do is copy and paste. And that's why we pride ourselves on saving our clients an enormous amount of time. And let's be real, in this seller's market that we're all in, where you're getting multiple above listing offers within a few hours of the property going to market, your time management has never been more important. And you just don't have the time to be sitting behind a desk worrying about email outreach and social media account growth. And you have to be getting the offers in very quickly, or your buyers won't get the properties that they love. We keep our offering at Stage Your Marketing really tight. We were never meant to be all things to all people. In fact, we offer just 4 services which are done for you in nature. That means you never have to worry about any of it, whether it's customizable email templates, unique Instagram hashtag bundles rather, personalized video editing and production, or custom lead generation, we've got you covered. Now, up to today, our existing clients have only been able to purchase any of these done for you services individually. And for our current clients who are on the call today, I respectfully suggest that you just hang in there with me for a little bit, because I'm going to show you that you have an option to get everything in the holiday bundle that you're already getting for a fraction of the cost. So let me just briefly describe what's in the 2020 Done For You bundle. First, our elegant, high converting, and customizable email templates. The holiday bundle includes the email template that we typically charge $397 a month for. And with the email template package, you'll receive an email to send every week of the year. We like to refer to it as our email a week package. 52 total emails come delivered to you 4 at a time on the first day of each month. Each email has a purpose line at the top, and the purpose line is meant to determine who and why you'd send this particular email out to. Also included in each email is a subject line, copywritten to get your recipients to open the email. Because, I mean, let's be real, it doesn't really matter what's inside the email if it never gets opened. So one more important piece about writing a perfect subject line. Did you know that 27% of emails you send never actually end up in your recipient's inbox or your spam box, or their spam box rather? So, I mean, it's called email purgatory. At least that's what I call it. So ever notice how you don't hear back from a higher percentage of your Gmail clients? That's because your email or junk folder does not allow them to be accepted. They literally go nowhere, and you're none the wiser for that. All of our subject lines adhere to the most strict specifications for deliverability, and that, by the way, is called poor deliverability whenever they go nowhere. And while we can't guarantee that your emails will have 100% deliverability, because some of what happens to your emails actually depends on your sender reputation, we can guarantee that every email subject line provided in the email a week package will meet the specifications to land where it's supposed to land. Next, the body of the email. We'll show you arrow prompts on every email so you know exactly where to place the details that are specific to you. Insert your specifics, then copy and paste, and that's it. You just spent less than 5 minutes getting an email out to your client list that would have ordinarily taken you at least 30 minutes to an hour to write, edit, and send. And multiply that by 52 weeks a year, and the time saved really adds up. So the Done For You email a week package would cost you over $4,700 annually, and it's included in its entirety in the 2020 Done For You bundle. So let's lift the lid on the Instagram hashtag monthly package. Every month you'll receive 30 unique and real estate specific Instagram hashtags to use for your post. And let me tell you just a little about why Instagram hashtags are so important. Instagram hashtags serve as a search engine for the Instagram platform in general, including your posts, stories, reels, and IGTV. In short, hashtags are the way your potential clients will find you. Hashtag homes for sale Boise, or hashtag house flipper New Orleans, are hashtags that are specific to what someone is looking for and will pull those potential clients to you organically. And let's be real, anytime you can get traffic organically, that's an amazing return on your advertising investment. But why is it important that you have new hashtags every month? And if you're doing something, come back to me here, because this is so important. If you don't take anything else away from me tonight, from me specifically, it's because Instagram slows your roll, so to speak, when you use the same hashtag groupings over and over again. Even use the same hashtag groupings 3 or 4 posts in a row, and you'll notice that Instagram automatically limits your reach. In other words, if you have 1,000 followers on your account, Insta will only make your posts available to a fraction of them. It seems unfair since you've built that account, but when you play on Instagram's playground, you have to abide by their rules. So the bottom line is you need to switch those hashtags up very frequently. And researching the perfect hashtags with the perfect number of daily searches takes a tremendous amount of time. If you use hashtags with too many searches, you'll never be found. And if you use hashtags with too few searches, there won't be enough interested people who will see your post. We only serve up what we call sweet spot hashtags, and these take longer to research than writing and editing your own email. So our hashtag bundles are massive, massive time saver. And with our 2020 Done For You holiday bundle, you'll get 12 different packages that have a total of 30 hashtags each. So a total of 360 different hashtags for 2021. You can mix and match them like crazy with 360 different hashtags. And I can guarantee you that your engagement will increase, and Instagram will never level out your reach with this type of hashtag variety. If you purchased our hashtag package monthly, it would cost you about $444 annually, but it's all included in the Done For You holiday bundle. And don't worry, I'll lay out this pricing and savings in just another few minutes. Now let's get to why you're all here today for the training, video production for your real estate business. Just let me say first, if you were to purchase the video production that is included in our holiday bundle separately, it would cost you more than the entire bundle. And that includes the email and the Instagram that we've talked about. And I'm kind of still wondering how my team got me to put all this together, because it's literally nuts, but here we go. So with the holiday bundle, you'll receive a fully edited and produced 3-minute branding video. And that would cost you $500 if you purchased it separately. In addition, and honestly, that's a steal. That's a steal if you have shopped around. In addition, the holiday bundle also includes 3 1-minute videos that would cost you around $900 if purchased separately. These 1-minute videos are typically used for posting on your Instagram, in addition to your email campaigns, websites, and other social platforms. as Insta limits its feed videos to just 60 seconds. So that's why the 1 minute videos, the 3 1-minute videos that are included are so important. So how our video production works is that you send us up to 30 minutes of raw video footage shot on your iPhone, DSLR camera, or video recorder. Now, obviously everyone on here wants to shoot on their phones because that's why you're here tonight. 30 minutes, that's what you send us. And our video team goes to work editing, putting music behind it, placing captions, whatever your specs are. And when you get your expertly edited videos back, they'll be ready to go in MP4 format, which is universally accepted on all platforms. We've done our best to move the crazy tech issues completely out of the way for you. All you need to do is shoot. So if the videos, more than paying for themselves, wasn't enough, we also included the ability to purchase unlimited videos for production at a discounted price. So every additional 1 and 3 minute video you purchase over the course of the entirety of 2021, you'll receive a 33% off discount. So if over $1,000 in video production costs, which pays for the done for you, wasn't enough, you have access to this level of video editing and production at such a ridiculously low cost that I'm really kind of shocked that we're even offering it in this way, but it's unlimited. Unlimited, as many as you need throughout the course of the year at 33% off. Okay, I've got one more piece of the puzzle to share. And this one is like seriously a doozy. We decided this late last night, we decided to throw in this bonus to really solidify this as a crazy offer that you would not be able to pass on. If you run paid advertising with Stager Marketing for lead generation, I know some of you do paid lead generation. A lot of people have a lot of different ways to do lead gen. But if you were to run with us, we will cover your ad spend up to $500 a month ad spend for everyone who runs a custom campaign. Now, of course, you have to pay the additional charge to set up and run the campaign, but we'll also offer you 25% off of the custom lead generation campaign, and you'll have zero invested in covering your ad spend on those campaigns. And that's a savings of a $6,000 ad spend alone if you run your custom lead generation campaigns with us over the course of 2021. So I'm kind of blown away. But even if you, if you only want to run for 3 months, that's okay too. That's still a savings of $1,500 in ad spend that you don't have to pay because we here at Stager Marketing are going to cover it. So give me 2 more minutes to look at this down on paper so that you could really appreciate what the time investment actually gets you and saves you from a monetary standpoint. It's a single payment of $12.99, and it breaks down like this. Busy slide, but follow me here. The email a week package comes at a cost of $47.64 if you purchase it outside the holiday bundle. That's almost 4 times the cost of the bundle all by itself. The monthly Instagram hashtag package costs $444 when purchased outside the holiday bundle. You can see the prices in the red. The video editing for 1 3-minute branding video and 3 1-minute listing videos will cost $1,400 when purchased at the regular price. The video production all by itself also pays for the cost of the Done For You holiday bundle. Add to that, on average, that you need an additional 10 other listings. You may have, if you have an additional 10 listings over the course of the year, you just added $1,000 value to the package. And last but not least, if you are a real estate professional who runs custom paid advertising to your lead generation year round, we'll cover $6,000 in ad spend for you, and that is absolutely bananas. And so I don't know about you, but I honestly can't believe the value that's included in our 2020 Done For You holiday bundle. It's a total of at least $12,597, but it's more like $15K if you purchase additional videos at the deep discount. And it's all just $12.99. So as this last bonus is only available if you're watching the pre-launch live stream, you can jump on board before November 30th and you'll get the 13-month bonus of an email and hashtag package. That means you'll get December of 2020 in addition to your entire 2021 package. But you have to come on before November 30th. And it's nowhere else on these slides or on any other offer. It's just for you today if you were here. And just one more thing. For those of you that are looking at the 2020 holiday bundle, but you just don't have the funds to do a single payment, if you need a payment option, I've got you covered. The total amount will be a few more dollars, but we can break it down so that you can pay over 3 months or for a bit more over 12 months. And you can still get the 13th month bonus even with a payment plan. So I hope you can see that I've done my best to literally remove every possible objection for you to come on board with Stage Your Marketing for 2021. So the only thing left to do really is click on the link that you're going to see in the chat. I'm not about a hard sell or fake scarcity, but I did want to mention a caveat. Our video department has requested, and I've obliged. Our video team will be monitoring the number of done-for-you holiday bundles that come in over the next 24 to 48 hours. And I've given them the authority to tell me when we have reached capacity. I love our team, and not overloading them means a great deal to me. So when they tell me that they've reached their maximum video production capacity for 2021, I'll shut the done-for-you holiday bundle sale down. I don't know when that will be. It could be in the next 24 hours or it could be 10 days from now. I don't know when that will be, but what I do know is that our video production team believes in producing top shelf content. And at the point where they think quality may suffer because they've taken on too much work, they'll let me know. A lot of it depends on how many additional discounted videos are purchased, and we have no idea how many that will be because we have never bundled discounts together like this before. So if you're serious about elevating your real estate video, email, and social media marketing for 2021, I would respectfully encourage you to jump in now. Also, if you need a payment plan, please reach out to me from whatever method you got this link and do it, at your earliest convenience so that we can get you set up. And with that, I am going to draw the curtain on my part of the video training class and the 2020 Done For You Holiday Bundle. I am going to send it back to Julia. She has graciously agreed to stay on and answer any additional questions that you may have. I certainly hope to see you all inside. I know I want to thank Julia for being here tonight and putting in all this time for us. It's been really great. It's been incredibly educational. And, just thank you so much, Julia. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to give it back to you. I hope to see all of you inside.